cutting through in the social world is tricky, is hard. It's important to stand out. Do you have any advice particularly around that within the context of writing social posts, for example?
Yeah, I think that is very hard. It's hard for me too, because it's an ever evolving genre or category of writing, right? There, maybe 5 years ago, what people wanted from socials isn't what they want now. So we have to keep our finger on the pulse, right? And by the way, side tip, the way I try to keep my finger on the pulse of what works in writing, observe myself as a reader. We can all observe when we see something on social media, what works. When we get a text and we're annoyed, oh, hey, self, don't do that.
Yeah.
When we get an email from a supervisor and we feel motivated and inspired, do see what they did, right? We can always be investigating. And with socials particularly, I would always suggest front-loading information. Sometimes we've developed a tendency to write in a way that feels professional. It has been reported that no. It's delaying information, right? And if I want to say something, I need to put who did something and what did they do in the beginning? What is the important information? So check if you might accidentally be someone who uses what I call slow lead-ins. There are many reasons to consider. It is important to consider. This is to inform you that. Those types of things. By the time the person, is looking, we're down to line 2 or 3 before we're getting actual meaning. So that would be my first piece of advice. And then I also, Angela, thank you for the question in the chat, had talked about transitioning out of that fear of writing. For me, and for a lot of my students, it's been kind of embracing that empowerment of I'm actually the one who knows the situation. If I'm in accounting and I'm writing to a vendor, I know more about the situation than almost anyone else. So I actually have the expertise. And little by little, people will kind of think, oh, let me pick up a couple strategies and then use that insight, right? Oh, I know my client is on the West Coast of the US versus the East Coast. I'm going to change some things up, right? I'm going to be the one who has the knowledge of the situation. And as people start realizing writing is actually about logic and social and observation, not about right and wrong and drill, they can start to change their feeling about it. But it's really, we have to do something to help them not be as afraid and not as scared to talk about it. Because once people start talking about writing in a team, we find out, hey, we're all nervous. We all get a little worried. We all get annoyed by things. We all mess up, whatever. But at first, people are very much afraid. So that has to come first, I think. It's okay to talk about our mistakes. I mean, I have whole sessions in class where we talk about writing fails and we learn from them. So that's part of it too, is just demystifying, I think.